When you're driving long distances in the United States, you see thousands of motels. Old neon signs, cracked parking lots, doors that look like they've seen better days. But sometimes, you find a place that shouldn't be there at all. This story comes from a man named Ethan, a traveling salesman from Ohio. He spent years driving from state to state, sleeping in cheap motels and eating at 24-hour diners. But one night, somewhere between Nevada and Utah, he checked into a motel room that didn't exist. Ethan had been driving for almost 10 hours. It was late, the sky was black, and a storm was forming in the mountains. He pulled off the highway when he saw an old yellow sign flickering in the distance. Desert View Motel, vacancy. It looked abandoned, but the office lights were on. Inside the lobby sat an older man, maybe in his late 60s, wearing thick glasses and flipping through an old newspaper. Ethan asked for a room, and without saying a single word, the man slid a metal key across the counter. Not a key card, an actual key. Room 12. The motel was silent, except for the buzzing of old fluorescent lights. The building felt wrong, like it hadn't been used in years. But Ethan was exhausted, so he unlocked the door of room 12, stepped inside, and immediately noticed something strange. The air was freezing. The room smelled like damp earth, not like dust or old carpet, like soil. And then he saw the second odd thing. Every piece of furniture, the bed, the lamp, the chair, was old, as if from the 1970s, but they were spotless, almost untouched. Ethan tried to shrug it off. He set down his bag, turned on the heater, and lay down. But somewhere around 2:30 a.m., he woke up to the sound of someone moving in the room. It wasn't footsteps. It wasn't the air conditioner. It was breathing. Slow, deep, heavy breathing coming from the corner near the closet. Ethan froze. He slowly reached for his phone, but it had turned off, even though it was fully charged. The breathing grew louder. And then, the closet door clicked and opened on its own. Inside, Ethan saw nothing but pitch-black darkness. No clothes, no hangers, just a dark space that seemed deeper than it should be, almost like a tunnel. And then something whispered his name. Ethan. He sprinted out of the room, grabbed the key, and ran straight back to the lobby. The older man was still at the desk, still reading the same newspaper. He shouted, "Someone's in my room!" The man lowered his glasses, stared at him for a long moment, and said quietly, "Son, no one has stayed in room 12 in over 30 years. He insisted, "You gave me the key!" The old man shook his head. "We sealed that room after what happened. There is no room 12 anymore." Ethan stormed outside to prove it, but when he reached the row of doors, he stopped dead in his tracks. Room 10, room 11, room 13. Room 12 wasn't there, and the key in his hand, the metal key he'd used hours earlier, now belonged to a different room entirely, one with a number scratched out. Ethan threw the key, got into his car, and drove nonstop until sunrise. When he looked back for the motel on the highway, it wasn't there. No sign, no building. Nothing but desert. To this day, he swears he slept in a room that was never built. A room the motel tried to forget, and a room that didn't want him to leave.